inside another dimension, face battling barbarians and evil magic on a quest for adventure in a maze of monsters. Once you get into it, you'll never be the same. Hero Quest. Now, with 2 new adventure packs, the legend grows.
Hi, welcome back to Not Your Brother's Hobbies. Today we're looking at the first of our Mage of the Mirror figures. This is the Elven Warrior. Comes in 2 flavors. We're looking at the male version for this video. So yeah, kind of a standard static pose we got going on here. But the concept art's looking really nice. It's really bright and colorful and kind of different, so I think that'll help make this one stand out. Okay, we're starting things off here with a new color. Got this one from my mama for my birthday. She saw that I was needing a purple and got me this Luxion purple, which is a pretty good match to the War Colors purples that I've been using. So we're using that, Luxion purple, and we're going to put that on his pants and his little headband. You don't want to forget that headband, and you want to be nice and delicate about it. It's got a front and back to it. Snakebite leather. In the concept art, he's got one dueling glove almost, and while you could do his hands normal, there is a pretty thick kind of rib of fold, I guess, of the leather. I chose to do it like the artwork, and I gave him that dueling glove. So that and the boots. Here we got Wildwood. We're doing a darker brown, a darker leather to break up the monotony of all those browns, and we're using this one on all the straps and the weapon sheaths. Be careful when you're doing the chest. His grip is pretty tight here, so anytime you're working on the chest area, just take your time, take a couple deep breaths, be brave. Here we're doing some red on his cape. Blood Angel's red is what we're using. Let's put that on his cape there. You can see that we are going to do a gilded kind of golden trim to it, but I'm not worried about separating that with a Guilliman flesh or anything. We're just going straight on. Just paint the whole cape red. Wraithbone here for any touch-ups. I got some red on his hair, a little too far up, and you know, just spots here and there. We get messy, but that's okay. Just take a moment, clean them up. Basilicanum Gray here for all of our steel metal base coating. We're going to lay that down for the chainmail underneath that he's got. He's also got some in between his legs. It's pretty well hidden. Just take your time, get in there, be pretty delicate, or be brave, make mistakes, clean them up. You'll be fine. Here we got Guilliman Flesh. It's going to go down for his skin. We're going to do him a pale skin. So we're going to put Guilliman Flesh down for all his skin color and all the gold base coating here. On this trim here, you can see that I'm not being too careful. We've already put down that Basilicanum Gray. We could have painted the whole shield if we wanted, but the undercoat will dictate kind of how bright that top coat is. So if you want to, you can be a little more precise like I am in the video. Otherwise, don't sweat it. Frost art here, we're going to do his trim. He's got a decorative trim on his tunic here, and just take your time, go nice and slow. It is cloth, so a couple little waves and wiggles in your line, you don't have to be perfect, is going to be just fine because it'll look like a ripple in the fabric. Skeleton Horde here for his hair, and we're just doing that sandy blonde hair we usually do for at least one elf. Apothecary White, we're going to put that on all of his tunic, and that's just going to give us a nice little gray shadow. It's going to lift up the dark darks, and it's going to mute down the bright brights. It's going to give some contrast in there, really nice. Alright, first things first with the layering, we're going to put down those metallics. We got gunmetal here for all of the steel metallics. I'm just going to put that on the sword, layer some down on his chainmail. He's got a little bracer there. And then just do your best with the shield. Worst case scenario, you just go back and forth a little bit with the gunmetal and whatever gold you end up putting up on there. Null Oil Gloss, that's going to go and shade this bad boy. Gonna blend all the parts we didn't paint with all the parts we did paint and give us a nice glossy shade in the recesses. Now, if you don't have those old gloss paints, I'm going to show you here. I'm just using normal Agrax Earth Shade for the chainmail. This is going to make it look different from the bracers. So we're using a brown shade, and then we're just going to put hard coat on top. And you can just do that as well. If you don't have those glossy paints, the classic Citadel ones, then just put your shade down, wait till it dries, and then put your shiny glossy coat on top. Here we've got our Retributor Armor Gold, my favorite gold, and we're going to use that for the trim of the cape, as well as a bunch of little gildings all over. Now for the cape trim, you don't have to do a big thick rim on it. You can do a thin one. I chose to do a little thin one, not follow the whole kind of edge of the cape. I thought it looked a little cooler, a little more delicate, a little more elven, and then follow that up with your Reichland Flesh Shade Gloss, and that'll tie that all together. We're using blue 1 to highlight up on this trim here, and that's going to really make this pop out. You don't have to go all the way on the trim because he does have folds in his clothes, so you can be a little more spotty with it, as well as when you have these large flat areas like the thick, I guess, bottom half of his tunic. You can put a little more texture in there and be a little more rough, and that'll be a cool look to it as well. Make it look a little more fabric-y, as well as save you some time. We got Violet 3 here just for some cleanup. So if you have some spotty contrast work, just layer on some cleanup color here. I'm using Violet 3. And then we got Violet 2, which is a little more bluey to it. As a highlight, you could use something like Demonette Hide, but I thought the kind of blue look was a little Technicolor or maybe a little more Vaporwave or something. It had a cool look to it to me. Cadian Flesh Tone here for our skin tone. Cleaning up any blotches, any splotches, and just going in there making a mid-tone for them. And then we come back in with Kislev Flesh to make a bigger highlight. Get those ears, the nose, the cheekbones, all those little prominent spots. The first of our extra touches, as always, the Pallid Witch Flesh goes on top of our pale skin. That'll give our skin some nice points of interest and make it look a little kind of anime shine to it. And then we got Chrome here for our metallic highlights, just adding those blings, those pings, those little sparkly spots. And as you can see also, the big flat of the blade, I like to just do the whole top edge, just flat of it, make it look real cool, real shiny. When it comes to the chainmail, you can just dot some on. You don't have to be precise, just pop, 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 and you'll give it a cool textured look to it. Don't forget the gilding of the shield, as well as some spots here and there on the his cloak, his little cape. You can highlight some of those little parts on the gold trim there. We got Wraithbone here starting up those anime hair highlights that I like to do. This just to give it a nice bright kind of mid-high tone. And then we follow that up with the Bold Titanium White to give it those really sparkly sheen spots. Now we are going to use this Bold Titanium White for another white, and that's going to be his tunic. You thought we were done? No way, bruh. And we're going to keep using this Titanium White here and start highlighting up his tunic. We're going to make that tunic really, really white, and you'll see that's going to make this figure really stand out. His posing might be kind of stiff, nothing special about it, but once you see this white down, oh man, it really changes everything. Then we do our basing like normal, just a gray, texture paint, a dry brush, a shade, and a dry brush. And there you have it. There is our Elven Warrior, looking pretty slick. Hope you can see what I mean about that really bright white tunic, the bright blue trim, the bright purple pants. Like, there's so much color on this guy, and his tunic being white, I think really adds to that cool contrast, that cool bright, vibrant look. Just all the different colors. Really digging it. Really liked how it came out. And that goes to show you, as we have seen in many of the other sculpts or many other times, that you can have kind of a model or a sculpt or a miniature that you're not too thrilled about. You can see some potential. Maybe it's just normal to you. It's a 5 out of 10. It's a 6 out of 10. Once you put some paint on there, that can really make it stand out. Here we go. We have the female sculpt here. So this comes with a variant for the Elven Warriors. We have male and female. And I painted these two identical, but as you've seen with the henchmen and stuff, like, vary up the hair colors, vary up the skin colors, mix and match, make it your own. You could do those tunics different colors. You could do the capes different colors. That'll help them stand out. That'll differentiate them if you need be. I'll be doing some of that myself, different skin tones and stuff. I want to try some kind of weird ethereal, earthy skin tones, maybe some green foresty ones. I think that'll be fun. Let me know what you guys think of the Elven Warrior. Are you excited to paint Mage of the Mirror? Are you on there with me? What are you looking forward to in the expansion coming up? The archers, the ogres, the wolves, maybe the terrain? I wasn't thinking of doing it, but if you guys really want to see it and see how the terrain could look different, maybe I'll do a little mini thing. But until then, give a like, give a subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!